Okay, hey up. It's Steve, that old Yorkshire geek. Right, I have literally just woken up. I've had a nap because I'm old and I kind of look like Captain Nemo, don't I? Just thinking. But anyway, in this film, or Captain Birdseye. Anyway, welcome to Magnificent Mondays, episode 42. The meaning of, excuse me, the answer to the ultimate question of life, the universe, and everything. But anyway, this week we're doing the amazing Captain Nemo, aka the Return of Captain Nemo, or Captain Nemo's Voyage to Atlantis, or something like that. Which is that? That's what that in Spanish says. Captain Nemo's Voyage to Atlantis. Which he does undertake. So that's what we're watching. And we're watching the rip from this because I couldn't find a decent, I don't think there's a 1080p version of this anywhere. And there's no subtitles either. Well, there is, but they're not very good. Anywho, so The Return of Captain Nemo from 1978. This was kind of a pilot, I suppose, for a TV series, except it wasn't. It was like a mini-series originally. It was 3 episodes called The Deadly Blackmail, Jewel in the Deep, and Atlantis Dead Ahead. It was 3 episodes, which was supposed to lead in, done as a mini-series, it was supposed to lead into a bigger series that never happened because apparently nobody watched this when it came out. But it were turned into, they were edited down, the 3 episodes were scrunched together and edited down to a 1 hour 37 minute feature length and released theatrically overseas, i.e. in the UK, because I went to see it at the Pictures and I really liked it because the submarines with lasers and they have laser guns and the delta beam, and it's totally confusing. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. And this is the final effort from Irwin Allen, who's seemed like obsessed with things under the sea, isn't he? But his last TV effort from Irwin Allen, because it was a huge failure, so he didn't bother with anything after that. And it had 1 million writers. I think it had six writers, because there were 3 episodes, and I think they gave each episode to 2 writers. I didn't tell them. What the other episodes were about. So you get like 3 different stories, which are totally unconnected-ish, apart from the characters. But anyway, obviously Captain Nemo's based on the Jules Verne character that we've seen in many cinematic and TV forms. Most famously in 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, etc. Mysterious Island. He was in Mysterious Island as well, wasn't he? Anyway, who's here? Windgrace says, too bad we don't get his car from League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. Yes, or his submarine, for that matter. By the way, the Nautilus that we see in this film is based on the used one of the Seaview submarines, 8-foot model, but one of the filming models from the Seaview. What the hell would we call that now? Voice to the Bottom of the Sea. From that, but it kind of reminds me. You'll see when we get to it. It kind of reminds me of a Cardassian starship from Deep Space Nine and Next Generation. But anyway. And the baddie ship, the Raven, is just a kit-bashed Space 1999 Eagle, and you'll see that as well. Right. South says, Finding Nemo. We're not doing Finding Bloody Nemo. Captain, I don't understand that reference, Captain. I don't know that one. That's gone whoosh over my head. That's interesting, since Disney's Atlantis did 3 episodes that were supposed to be a series and were then crammed into a movie. Did they? What, Atlantis the Lost Empire? That with Michael J. Fox on voice duties. I didn't know that, but I like that film. Because there's no singing in it, although I do like a song. Sequest would beat them all. Obsessed with bloody Sea Quest. Under the command of Nathan Bridger or Michael Ironside, it was a character name I can't remember. You had a nap and looked like Nemo. Oh, hence Napo. Oh, right. I thought it was some American reference. Yes, I did have a nap. Oh, so I'm all bleary-eyed, and I'll probably not remember anything about this bloody film. But apart from it's rubbish but fun. Right. Anyway, anything else that we can learn, we can glean from it? It stars Jose Ferrer. Burgess Meredith, Mel Ferrer, who's not related to Jose Ferrer, I did check, Linda Day George, and Warren Stevens, Tom Halleck, Berda Benning. And I watching it, I thought, I'm sure I've seen him with gills, and I thought I looked it up and thought, oh yes, he played a character in is it City Beneath the Sea in the early 70s, late 60s, I can't remember. Where a fella that could breathe underwater. And he was also in Man from Atlantis, so he must be obsessed with the sea. Isn't it anyway? And that's about it. And loads of others. Horst Buchholz, he's in it as well. Right, and Burgess Meredith just hams it up magnificently in this film. Right, so let's just get on with it, shall we? But before we start, don't forget, like and subscribe, share the videos, drop a comment, hit the notification bell if you're subscribed already. I better make sure we're going, aren't we, on all the various platforms. We're live on YouTube. Yes, we should be live on Rumble. Fingers crossed. I'll just give that a minute. And we should be live on Twitch. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Are we going on? Come on, Rumble! Bloody hell. Right, yes, we're going on Rumble, tell you. Team Atlantis was a cancelled animated TV series shut down due to movie's poor box office performance. 3 episodes were finished. Oh, they did a TV series based on the... All right, released as a movie called Atlantis Milo's Return, which my son's got upstairs, I think. All right, so they based the sequel to Atlantis: The Lost Empire on the series. I've not seen the second one, but I do like the first one. Michael Ironside is Captain Oliver Hudson. Thank you. In Sequest 2032, something like that. Which has a Stargate connection, doesn't it? Because it's got one of the DeLuises in it, hasn't it? Anyway, where were we? I thought Raymond Burr was Ironside. Yes, Andy fought Godzilla and King Kong. What else? Later on, I'll upload it to Spotify, Amazon Music, Podcast, and Google Podcast. Blah, 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 blah. Links in the description for me. Facebook, X, and Instagram. Plug me books. Just a minute, move them. Come here. Links also in the description for me 2 books. Mercury Rapids, light-hearted sci-fi action adventure about UFOs and stuff, and Silent Predator, short horror novella about big cats eating people in North Yorkshire. Buy them! Oh dear. They're on Kindle and paperback. Kindle's cheaper. Whatever. Right. Let's get on with the film. As usual, excuse me, we'll not be just watching it. Although, I don't know. Would I get a copyright if I just played it? I mean, nobody's bloody heard of this, but anyway. Whatever. I'm going to watch it in the series of stills and talk about it and just revel in its rubbishness. So off we go. And by the way, it just comes straight on. There's no like blank screen at the beginning. It's just on is the film. It was like that on the disc that I bought. So off we go. Right, so I'll make myself titchy tiny. Is it that one? Yes, it's that one. Because I'm not getting rid of all that stuff today. Because there's no subtitles to get in the way. Although I did find a subtitle file about an hour ago. No, about an hour and a half ago. The only one I could find in English, but they're all out of sync. So I didn't have time to fix it. I do have a subtitle workshop thing where you can go in and reset subtitles, the timings and stuff, but it takes ages. So I was contemplating cancelling this show till next week just to do that. I was. Because I'm in pain as well today. You might hear me go, ooh, because I've been gardening. I've been cutting grass and privets and stuff, and I'm aching all over. Right, you need to re-release them with UFP, the United Federation of Planets. No, it means UAP. Must have Trek on the brain. The UFOs, not bloody UAPs. Stop listening to the man. That's what the man calls them now, don't they? The government, the men in black, they call them UAPs. They're trying to make us call them, but use their terminology. We'll use the terminology we've used forever. Flying saucers. No smug look, but I finally hit 200. Cool! Oh, crikey, let me have a look. Sci-Fi Quest hit 200. We'll get on with the film in a minute, but more important things first. I'm going to have to sort my bloody subscriber list out. Yeah, 200 subscribers, yeah. Cool. It's all these Doctor Who videos you keep doing. Right. Foo Fighters. Moan. Typical Yorkshireman. Yes, well, yeah, pretty much. Right. Off we go. Add to screen. There we go. Just comes on. Just blanked on. This is where we see the Raven. Hang on. And it says somewhere in the South Pacific, I think. Hang on. For Pete's sake. It's going to be one of them bloody days, isn't it? It's going to be one of them bloody days. I should have cancelled it. There we go. Somewhere in the South Pacific. In that font that were very popular in the 70s, wasn't it? Kind of Battlestar Galactica-y font. Anyway, then we get to see the Raven. There it is. And you can see it's just a Space 1999 Eagle, the engines and that bit. And the cockpit that they've repainted, just sprayed it silver and just faffed about a bit. Kit bashed it. Anyway, it's a submarine. You never see these engines working. But anyway. So off we go. We're in the Raven. And this is where we meet Tor. I think it's Tor. So let me double check. Yes, played by Med Flory, who's a musician / actor who's no longer with us. Did a lot of westerns. Is Annika Hansen on board? Unfortunately not. It's not that Raven. It's not that one. And Laura Smith's here saying congratulations to Sci-Fi Quest for hitting 200 subs. 500 before we know it. Anyway, do they have a flying sub? I bet they would have done with the series that had gone on. Anyway, here comes Tor. I'm not quite sure what it's supposed to be. It's described on IMDb as Tor, in brackets, silver android. Is it in IMDb or is it on Wikipedia? It's Wikipedia, silver android in brackets. But it's not. He's got a gold head. He's got silver clothes, but for some reason he's got handles on his head. But we never see anybody grab hold of him. Anyway, here he comes into the bridge or whatever of the Raven. We see various henchmen wandering about, and this chap. Oh, I know who it is, but I can't remember his bloody name. Right, so I'm going to have to look him up, see if I notice him. It's Peter Jason. Yes, it's Peter Jason, who we've seen in loads of stuff. But Prince of Darkness, 48 Hours, Escape from LA, They Live. I'm looking at IMDb, but all them. Not them, but them films I'm on about. Yeah. Is he even in Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom? I didn't even realise. And I like that film. So there we go. Peter Jason in a nondescript role. I've heard a rumour that Russell T Davies might either quit or get sacked. It's going to be like the Kathleen Kennedy rumours. Anyway, so here he is on the bridge of the Raven. In he comes. And there's other robots. They've got crew members, but there's other robots as well. We'll have in a minute. But there we see it's diving down. These are super duper submarines, by the way. The Raven and the Nautilus. They're a billion times better than the submarines owned by everybody else. We don't see any other submarines, I don't think. But anyway. Right, so in comes Burgess Meredith as Professor Cunningham. Is it Professor? Or is it Doctor? I think it's Professor. Yes, Professor Waldo Cunningham. He's the mad scientist who presumably designed the Raven and his doomsday machines. But here he is. So he says, Tor, activate the scanner. And the scanner is just a TV that shows stock footage of Washington, D.C. And Tor just keeps saying things like, soon the world will know of our power, and all that. And it's terrible. It is terrible. There we go. Stock footage of the White House. Josh has arrived, lurking in the shadows. Hope you all had a wonderful weekend. Yeah, had a great weekend. Just not much of a good Monday because I was working and I hate work. Oh dear. In the garden, that sort of work. Anyway, where were we? Right, so he's going to talk to the president. He's going to issue an ultimatum to the president. So here he is. So there he is. That's the president. Is that the Oval Office? I don't know, but maybe it's another room in the White House. But anyway, so this is the president of the United States of America. So he's offering him an ultimatum. He says, Mr. President, sir. That's how he talks. Not in an English accent, but always says sir at the end of every sentence. And he doesn't just say nuclear. He says, I have a nuclear missile aimed at Washington, D.C., and I will launch it or fire it in 1 week at 8 p.m. if you don't pay me $1 billion in gold bullion. That's how he says it. That's how he says it. And he wants the gold bullion dropped in a specific place in the Pacific where he can pick it up. And then he says, to prove his power, he says, pay attention to the island of Akatoa. Then he shows the island of Akatoa in a minute. There it is. There's the island of Akatoa. Nobody lives there, apparently. Uninhabited. But it don't fire a nuclear missile at it. It says, by the way, Akatoa is larger than the area is larger than Washington, D.C. But he don't fire a nuclear missile at it. He uses his delta beam. So why don't you use his delta beam on Washington? But anyway, I don't know. So he's going to fire his delta beam at Akatoa to demonstrate his power. So here we go. So he's going, ready, delta beam. Oh, there we go. And for some reason, this fella that fires the delta beam that we see has got this weird head. I presume he's another robot or android. Why he's got a head like that? No idea. And also, Tor, the big one, keeps referring to the good guys as aliens. So I was thinking, did Cunningham really build all this? Or is this an alien submarine and Cunningham's kind of just taken over with him and his crew and all the robots and androids are all, E.T. I don't know, but anyway. Didn't the Nautilus sink on November 20th, 1931 in the fjord near Bergen? I have no idea. And about the real-life Nautilus, I have no idea. They're Cylon adjacent. Yes, maybe so. Same year that Battlestar Galactica came out. Anyway, so here he goes. He's getting ready to fire. So the delta beam. There it is. So off they go when they're ready. So there's lasers under the sea. The first of many. He fires it at not Krakatoa. Akatoa. It blows up. So there we go. So that's what's going to happen to Washington, except with the nuclear missile in a week. So they've got a week to pay up. So there we go. So then we get the credits. It just, there we get the credits. There we go, starring Jose Ferrer, Tom Halleck, Benning, and Horst Buchholz as King T-Bob, but we don't see him till the last third of the film. Anyway, so blah blah. There we go. Lots of written bys, including Robert Bloch, who wrote Psycho, but managed to get him on this. Right, so war games are going on. We see an aircraft carrier. Look, there we go. War Games, 1978. It didn't come out in the 80s, didn't it? Oh dear. With Matthew Broderick. Another Nautilus was decommissioned in 1980. It was also a type of prehistoric sea creature. Or is it still a living one? Can't remember. Been around a while anyway. Anyway, so like I said, war games are going on in the Pacific with divers and stuff. And this is where we meet our two heroes. Don't ask me their names, I've forgotten. Commander Tom Franklin and Lieutenant Jim Porter. They're diving. They're all these Navy SEALs or whatever, I don't know. They're all in the water, but they're off doing their own thing. And then we hear somebody over the radio saying, "Where's Commander Porter?" and all that. And said, "Oh, he's off doing something else. And he's out of range, so they can't contact him." Anyway, so here they are. Is it these? No, that's another one. Right, there they are. They're swimming away, looking for whatever they're supposed to be looking for. God knows. But they come across... there we go. Pointing, look over there. It's all over the radio, obviously. This is where we see. Hang on. Is it going to show us? There we go. We see the Nautilus through the seaweed. There it is. Look. So they go and swim over to it, and they have a look in through the window. The first window they come to, it just happens to be the one they need to look in. Shines his torch about. Obviously, they've not noticed, they've not noticed this fella here. They're just shining their light about, like that, look. And then it passes over that, and then the light goes, "Ooh!" Goes over like, "Ooh, what was that?" And then it goes back right quick. "Ooh, ooh." So that's Captain Nemo in suspended animation for 100 years. So anyway, so they get on board, they find a moon pool. It still works. So up they go. So they go exploring the ship. Obviously, there's no crew. We learn what happens. So they're having a nosy about the Nautilus, and here he is. By the way, the Nautilus has been sort of like rocked by depth charges and stuff because of the war games. So that sort of like activates all the systems again. And the Nautilus were trapped. It were trapped in like under a ledge, a coral reef or something like that. 6 species of nautili still exist, but they are not doing well. Oh dear. It's life, Jim. No barnacles or anything growing in the Nautilus hull. No, because it's special. Because it was designed by Captain Nemo with special anti-barnacle properties. Anyway, it opens up and he emerges. Wakes up. And it says, "Hey up, I'm Captain Nemo, Thanos." So he looks in the mirror. Oh, he goes, "It worked. My experiment worked." So he looks in the mirror. "I haven't aged 100 years." Oh, I don't know what year it is. He asks the date and what year it is, and he says 100 years. So they introduce themselves, and so they go. He's got to go and make sure the Nautilus is still working. Obviously, the Nautilus. That means you must be Captain Nemo. Yes, pneumonium is barnacle resistant. You must be Captain Nemo then. He says, "Yes, I am." Do we know Captain Nemo's other, is he like Captain Fred Nemo or anything? I don't know. I know it's supposed to be of Indian descent, isn't it? So I don't know. But and he says, "Captain Nemo's a fictional character created by Jules Verne." And he says, and Captain Nemo replies, Have you ever considered that as well as being a novelist, he was also a biographer? So that's how they get round that. Anyway, so the head of the bridge, here it is. And this is where it tells them that 100 years earlier, the Nautilus had got stuck under this coral reef or whatever. I think they're like a big storm or something like that. Something had happened. And it got stuck. So he told the crew to evacuate. And so they've sodded off, lived their lives. And he decided to put himself in suspended animation. So that's what happened. Anyway, right, so the power starts coming on. It's got snazzy radar, look. You'd think it'd be sonar, wouldn't you? But it's obviously radar, but undersea radar. Wasn't Nemo a sultan? I don't know. I say I've not read 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. Didn't look stuck. No, it didn't, but it was. They said it was. It looks like bloody Dracula in that cape, doesn't it? I wonder if it's Bela Lugosi's cape. Oh, no, it can't because he got buried in it, didn't he? There's looking out, and the keeps getting rocked because of the war games. And so they've got to go and make sure the power's on. So I think we're going to go see the power. There we go. More rocking. Oh, I think we get a bit of... there we go. Bit of steam coming out. So we've got to turn these red... things that are always on submarines. They've always got them, haven't they? As soon as steam or water's coming in, turn that valve, and everything's fine. And they do it twice here. Look, he's got the one there, and there's another one there, and everything's hunky dory because they've always have them. Nemo is his chosen name. He was actually Prince Dakar. Cool. Named a rally after him. The Paris-Dakar rally. I know it's a town. I know it's spelled differently. Anyway. Right. So it's getting rocked again. I think it's freed now. As I said, like, it reminds me of vaguely of when you see it in profile from a distance. It kind of reminds me of a Gala-class Cardassian warship. But anyway, down it comes. It says, "Oh, we're all gonna die." He don't, but Tom Halleck, I forgot the name of his Commander Porter. I think it's Commander Porter. I've bloody forgotten already. Tom Frank, no. It's Lieutenant Porter and Commander Franklin. Commander Franklin says, "We're all gonna die." And then, obviously, they don't. It just settles on the bottom. Let me see. A nice fish swim by, look. They filmed in the bloody fish tank. But they're fine. So then he says, "Right, got to go and check my nuclear power thingy-ma-bob." The warp core, basically. There it is. This is the nuclear power plant, and lots of labels, and quarter power, half power, 3/4 power, and full power. And that says critical, but we don't have to worry about that. This still looks like Star Trek in the 70s AI. Yes, it could be, couldn't it? If you went into it in an AI. Do a Victorian Star Trek. Steampunk Star Trek. Anyway. So they're all amazed. "Oh, you had nuclear fission back then." Says, "Yeah, I did. So what?" Right, so what next? Right, they're going to get going, and he says, "I'm going off to find Atlantis now." And they said, "But your submarine needs repair. Come to San Francisco with us. We've got an amazing shipyard, and they'll fix your ship and give you a crew and all that, and stores and things." But meanwhile, they go and get changed into some natty 19th century hornpipe sailor clothes. So off they go. So there you go. Starts up his engine and off they go. There it goes. This is what reminds. This is the scene that I think it looks just like a Gala class Cardassian warship from that angle. But anyway, it's a sea view model apparently, but they must have stuck bits on. Right, off they go. So they talk him into going to San Francisco. So he brings the ship around, and this is where we meet Warren Stevens. There we go, San Francisco. Something gives it away. Don't know what. Is there a ludicrous speed light? More than probably. I hope they go plaid. The joke that I don't get, but I still laugh at. They've gone to plaid. Anyway, there they are, San Francisco. Starfleet headquarters. And we're heading to some room in the middle of this building. That one, perchance? I don't know. But one of these rooms. Why it's showing us, I don't know. But this is Warren Stevens, who plays Miller, Mr. Miller, who's the boss of their... they're not just regular sailors, as is Franklin and Porter. They're like secret agent sailors who work for Miller in naval intelligence or whatever. And so it's a bit like Section 31, I suppose. And he's in charge. I don't think we ever learn his rank or anything like that. But anyway, he's talking to this fellow. We don't know who he is. He says something along the lines of, I'll meet you there next week or something like that. And you think, oh, what's all this about? And we never see him again. So off he goes. You may recognise Warren Stevens from Forbidden Planet. He played Doc. I can't remember the character's name. He was in Forbidden Planet. Anyway, there's striking a fetching pose there, isn't he? So anyway, right, so this is where he meets Captain Nemo. Obviously doesn't believe he's Captain Nemo. So he gets the hoof, does Jose, and he says, I didn't come here to be treated like this, and storms out. So Franklin goes after him, and Porter says, we were there in the Nautilus, and here's my photos to prove it, because they were taking pictures, by the way. So he shows him the photos, so he obviously believes him now. So they come back in, and he says, what can I do for you, Captain Nemo? Anyway, nice giraffe statue. Was there a giraffe statue? I wasn't paying any attention. I'm going to have to go back and look now. Why has he got a giraffe statue? So I know I haven't got a giraffe statue. Anyway, whatever. Right, where were we? So he says, what can I do for you? He says, well, the Nautilus needs repairs and provisions, and I need a crew. So he says, I can give you all those things, but we might want you to do some things for us. He says, I can pay you in gold. Gold, he says. Not like that. But he said, the US government isn't a shop. We don't deal in those sorts of things, but we can find some other way for you to pay us back, in kind. There is describing that what they do, the top secret naval intelligence organisation, they answer to him, and he only answers to the man on the other end of that red telephone at the White House. An upside-down sea view with greeblies. I love gold, Mr. Powers. Oh, dear. Right. I haven't got those. I love the Austin Powers films, and I haven't got them on. I don't think I've even got them on DVD, and I don't know why. Anyway, right. So they're going to fix up the Nautilus, give him a crew, and he's going to head off to Atlantis, but they might ask him to do something for him, and he's going to say, we want you to do something for us now, because 7 days ago, Professor Cunningham threatened this and destroyed Akatoa and threatened the nuclear missile on Washington, so we want you to go out and stop him, because you've got a Super Ace submarine and he's got a Super Ace submarine that can go really deep, and you can sort that out for us. They remove the latinum. All that's left is worthless gold. They use gold pressed latinum, don't they? Because it can't be replicated or something, can it? Something like that. That's the way it's made. That's why they use that. I still can't believe they haven't greenlit the Fourth Powers movie. I think it's a bit too late now, isn't it? But you never know. You never know. Right, so they're going to send off Captain Nemo and his new crew off to deal with Professor Cunningham and the Raven. Then we have some stock footage of ships. There we go. So they're off in their new snazzy uniforms. Right, they've got some new equipment aboard, top of the line tech. They've even got walkie-talkie radios or whatever, where you press the button and it just, whenever you press it, you just talk to whoever you want to. They hear you. So anyway, this is where he's going to play the tape of Professor Cunningham. Is it Betamax? Play the tape, Professor Cunningham threatening, there we go, the president with his nuclear missile. So they've got to go and find him. They know where he'll be, because he said that he'll be where he wanted the gold bullion dropped. I think it's more on Mike Myers. He went recluse for a while. Great Halloween reference from Windgrace. Mike Myers. That's Michael Myers in Halloween. Anywho, so here's the Raven and Thor with his handles on his head. That thing he's got in his sleeve there, it freezes people, but they've also got these other guns that they must have two settings, and one freezes people, so they just go like that. And there's another one that's a laser beam setting. And there's lots of lasers in this, but then we learn in a bit that Captain Nemo has invented a laser. Everybody's using them in this film. But anyway, whatever. The delta beam's obviously different. My little finger's on the edge of my mouth. $1 billion. Anyway, so now Professor Cunningham's getting cross because obviously the money's not there, the gold bullion is not there, so he's getting cross and he says, "How dare you endanger all those innocent people in Washington," and all that stuff. So he's going to fire it. He's going to fire it, but we still have a few hours to go. The Nautilus has arrived. And so they're going to deal with it. And so Captain Nemo's going to activate his electric force field. It's going to show us. There we go. Shows it from outside. There we go. Got an electric force field. That's what they call it. So, they're heading to intercept the Raven. And the Raven detects them. There he comes out. Alien submarine detected, or whatever, Destroy. He's always like that. Destroy. Will Robinson. So, there you go. Pointing. Destroy. I'll unmute it for a minute and then we'll listen to him. And his amazing acting talents of Med Florey.
Must be destroyed.
There you go. Must be destroyed. That's all he says pretty much all the way through the film. They must have stolen the prototype Dragonfire laser. I have no idea what you're talking about. If you look closely, James Bond is swimming by with a shark chasing him. but not a shark with frickin' laser beams attached to its frickin' head. Was that a Vulcan bomber on the ocean floor? I have no idea. Not that I saw. Anyway. So they're going to fire the delta beam at it and destroy it. There is a little fella with his frog head or whatever. Why? I don't know. So he's getting ready. Hey, I'll shoot him. So off we go. Getting the delta beam, which obviously is not a laser. For some reason they've got this device here, which is some sort of communications thing, but it seems a bit clumsy and awkward. It's like a big, thick lightsaber hilt, but they're just talking to it. Fire delta beam, he says. So off we go. So hang on. So here we go. There, and it just bounces off the electric force field. There you go, like that. Blows a hole in the seabed. So it's like, gosh and golly. Oh, there's all this eating. Oh, I hate seeing people do that with the glasses. Because I was thinking, the backs of my ears are filthy. So I'd never put my glasses in my mouth. But I was thinking, ugh. Anyway, you don't know where they've been. Roy Scheider does it as well. He does it in Jaws and he does it in 2010. Maybe he does it in other things as well. Maybe he does it in Sequest. I don't know. But don't put your glasses in your mouth. You don't know where they've been. No, Mr. Bond, I expect you to die. Shooty Gatwa for James Bond. Don't say it. It may come true. Right, so they're going to go over because Captain Nemo wants to speak to Professor Cunningham face to face. So they're going to have a nice stroll or swim or whatever over. Instead of just getting on the radio to him or scanner, monitor, whatever, saying, let's have a truce and just talk it out. They're going to just walk over because you can just, in submarines in this, you can just go through the moon pool and just enter each other's ships or submarines. There are boats out the submarines. Anyway. Right, so off they go. All right, and Tor has an ability that he knows whatever's going on the Raven. He sees it in his mind, and so we see it as well. Look. He sees them coming through the Raven's moon pool. So he says, aliens on board the ship must destroy. Look, he's even doing it. I must destroy. So, anyway, so they're tootling through, but they get captured with ease. There we go. And brought in front of Professor Cunningham. Imagine the First Doctor and Bond and it's Shooty. Hey. Where were we? Oh, I am Captain Nemo. And he says, oh, I've heard of you. Oh. So he's saying, you can't do whatever you're going to do. I will stop you. And all that stuff. There we're getting a look at the nuclear missile that is going to fire. Which, once it's launched, transforms into a Polaris missile. Which they always did in the 70s, didn't they? I think we saw them in Warlords of Atlantis and Spy Who Loved Me and other stuff. Always transformed into... not Spy Who Loved Me. Yes, Spy Who Loved Me. It was transformed into Polaris missiles, didn't they? What did I say Trident before? Polaris, I meant. So he's showing him it. So anyway, there we go. They've got, is it 60 seconds or 60 minutes, whatever? I don't know how long they've got. Because it's all super duper computerized because there's a computer tape there going and not doing anything. It's got a big red button. Right, so he gets to use his freezing ray gun on them. So they're just there we go. They're just like that, and it makes a noise. It goes like that, whatever. So they're frozen. They can't move, but then they unfreeze them. And put them in a prison cell with a glass door. But obviously, well, they don't do that because instead of it just having a button somewhere to open it, they've got to like feel about somewhere. But before they do that, as you can see in the background, Franklin's fighting the other chap. And then we see Captain Nemo making short work of the other fella. Of course, Tor sees it in his mind. Look, his hand. Why has he got handles on his head? I don't know. He can see it. Aliens are escaping. They must be destroyed. He'll probably have a bigger role in Barbie 2. Not seen Barbie 1. And they're probably not going to see it. Anyway, so he's going to send his golden androids. Kind of remind me of the robots a bit in the black hole, but golden and different. But anyway. Right, so we get some Buck Rogers style laser blasting going on. There we go. Hang on. Like that. And they just stand there. You know, like in Battlestar Galactica, you just see a Cylon that gets shot. It just stands there and blows up. They do a bit of that. Look. Pew, pew. Pew, pew. There. Proper, you know, pew, pew. It's what we want, innit? There we go. All blowing up. So there we go. So anyway, so they get away. There we see the missiles armed. They've got to get back to the Nautilus now, because he has a power source that can send an energy beam. And say, oh, you've invented a laser. They've just been bloody using. Can't see her. See, she's here, look. Aren't you? What are you doing? What are you going up there for? Why are you going? What are you up to? Eh? What are you up to, cheeky monkey? Princess has come to say hello. Where were we? Oh my, they've got to escape. Hang on. He can be the first red shirt to die in a fan Trek movie, 10 seconds in. Shoot here on about. Accepting Trek, we want... Yeah, that's what we want, don't we? We don't pew-pews, we want... And phaser strips. I don't like phaser balls, I like phaser strips. Where they go... Behave. Oh, see, she's knocking things over. The clumsiest cat I've ever known. He'll probably complain about the colour and get sacked. Yeah. Anyway. Right, so they're escaping. They're sending henchmen after them. Obviously not the robots, because they might rust in the water, maybe. I don't know. But there we go. Stock footage of fish. So this is a thunderball section, isn't it? Oh, aye, that's probably why he said, was that a Vulcan bomber on the sea floor? Yes, thunderball. I get there eventually, don't I? So they're sending the bad guys after them. So we get a bit of laser gun fighting under the sea. No, I'm not going to sing. I'm not going to be Sebastian. Here we go. And obviously the bad guys are firing red lasers, as we'll see in a minute. Here he is. He's going to hide behind this rock. Go on. There you go. He's firing a red laser. But Captain Nemo, being a good guy, he fires... there you go. He fires a blue laser, which is apparently the stun setting. Because he says later on, set your weapon to stun. We're not murderers. Because in 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, he was, against war and all that, even though they were destroying ships and stuff. But anyway. But he shoots that and makes that rock fall on that man, just to trap him. But he doesn't do anything, he just pops up again. There you go, pops up again. And then he stuns him, and then he goes over to check on him, to make sure he's still alive. And then the other one, there you go, they're fighting. And he goes and hides. He hides behind this seaweed. So he just shoots the seaweed, and then the seaweed floats away. So he just shoots him again and stuns him. So what? They just leave him there stunned. Will they come to and just swim back to the Raven, or will they just stay stunned until their oxygen runs out and they die? Because I can't see Professor Cunningham sending people after them. Can you? Anyway, we have to think about that. Right, so they get back to the Nautilus, and I think he says, I need full power. Go to the nuclear power plant. Oh, no, that's how Cunningham says it, isn't it? Go to the engine room, and it needs full power. See, it's only on half power at the minute. It needs to go to full power with all these dials, and They're bloody pumps, aren't they? Off from a pub, a beer pump. That's what they look like. Pulling a pint of beer. That's what they look like, anyway. So here it goes. Oh, and he says, "Okay, I'll see to it. Don't have people in the engine room? Obviously not. He's got to go from the bridge all the way to the engine room, wherever that is. And he's also got to put on his shades because he's going to full power." Oh, dear. There we go. It's going up, look. There you go. Up it goes. Meanwhile, on the Raven, they have escaped and all that stuff. So he's getting ready to launch his missile at Washington. So it says, "Oh, we've got to go deeper for some reason." Oh, right, yes, that's it. And the Raven's going to fire at him. He says, "Go behind that mountain, that one there. That will shield us." All right, and he's going to make several Nautiluses appear. This is why he needs full power. He needs it for his laser. But he also creates not quite, I don't know, holographic Nautiluses or something. It says he will be firing at many Nautiluses. So, anyways, but before that, he hides behind this mountain, and they fire the delta beam up, and it blows up that mountain. He says, "Aliens are destroyed." Because he's cross. For some reason, Thor is really cross. Must be all the rivets in his mask. Anyway, still on the countdown. This way there's going to make many Nautiluses appear. Or is that later on? No, I'm sure it's now. Stock footage of Washington, just to remind us what he's aiming at. He's on full power now. Look, good job he's got his shades on. And there isn't a lot of radiation in there, but never mind. I'm sure Porter didn't want kids anyway. It must be later on with the many Nautiluses. Anyway, the Polaris missile launch looks nothing like the one that we saw, but anyway, off it goes. Good old stock footage. Also saw me. Behave yourself. Anyway, where were we? He's having a whale of a time, look. Hey! Get ready to fire his laser. There we go. And, hang on, sorry. There we go. It's blown up. Washington is saved, because he must only have one. He must only have one of those missiles. So there we go. Oh, right, and all the down blast or whatever from the explosion, it goes into the sea, and I think it does show it as a in a minute, and rocks them about a bit. So get us steady and all that, and stuff. Right now, so Washington's saved. He says, "I have my debt to you is paid with interest," and all that stuff. And then, because this must be the end of episode 1, by the way. So it must be in episode 2 where they do the many Nautiluses. And they decide to hang about, because he's off to Atlantis now. They say, because it says, "With permission, I'd like Commander Franklin and Lieutenant Porter to come with me if they want to come." And they said, "Oh, can we come, sir?" Requesting a leave of absence, so yeah, okay, obviously they do, so they're going with him. But meanwhile, the Raven's still lurking around, up to no good. Oh, yes, they've got to go and refuel, and they're heading to the Mindanao Trench. Yes, Jimmy Carter is. Didn't look much like him, did it? Dear. Must be Jimmy Carter's stunt double that we saw earlier on. They're going to the Mindanao Trench, which is where the Americans in this dump all their nuclear waste. So they're gonna is lowering some magnetic thing that just looks like a big magnet, a big cartoon magnet, and there's all barrels of nuclear waste at the bottom of the Mindanao Trench. Yeah, it's just the penguin. It's just been the penguin in this, isn't it, essentially? But anyway. So there we go. They're getting onto a barrel, and they're not. I thought it was just going to lift it up, and they were just going to use it. 'Cause it's ages since I've seen this. I thought they were going to, take it away and use the nuclear waste as a power source. But no, what they're doing, they're using a laser or whatever to drill holes into them, and then use the magnetic power of whatever that is to make the energy go up into the raven. They'll do that on several barrels. But it also means that radiation bubbles are coming out of the barrels, and it could spread all across the sea. No, Aquaman would not be impressed, Wingrace. Oh dear. He will not be impressed either by the Americans dumping their nuclear waste at the bottom of the Pacific abyssal. Also, the fact that Professor Cunningham's irradiating the Pacific Ocean. I mean, who'd irradiate the Pacific Ocean? I don't know. So anyway, off they go. There we go. Meanwhile, Mr. Miller gets in touch with Captain Nemo again. I mean, they've hardly got anywhere. Now, is that yeah, it is. I want to say, is that his arm, or is it somebody running by and it's their leg? But no, it's his arm, because I can see his epaulette there. Careful, or Toho might block you for that comment. I wasn't thinking of that. I was thinking of that Japanese power station. But anyway, in real life, not a certain monster. Right, where were we? All right, yes, he's getting in touch with Captain Nemo, and he's saying, we need your help. Radiation levels in the Mindanao Trench are spiking. It's where we dump all our nuclear waste. He just says it matter-of-factly, as though, that's cool. But radiation levels are spiking, and we don't know why. And the radiation could spread all across the Pacific and kill millions. That's what he says. Nemo says, I've saved Washington like 5 minutes ago. My debt's paid in full with interest. And he says, yeah, but, people will die. He says, all right, then. We'll go and deal with this. So off they go to the Mindanao Trench. All right, but he's got to call Pearl Harbor first. Stock footage of Pearl Harbor. To pick up two specialists. Well, a specialist and his assistant. So here they are. This is, ask me the bloody name. Linda Day George as Kate, and Mel Ferrer as Dr. Robert Cook. I thought you were talking about the US in general. No. Did they have Skype back then? Yes. Nemo Skype. Because they also invented that. Anyway. Right, so here we are. That's, was it Linda? I forgot her name already. Linda Day George. She's been in loads of American TV stuff, hasn't she? Typical 70s pretty eye candy for the dads. They definitely had Nemail. TM. So that's Kate and Dr. Robert Cook, and so they get shown. They get introduced to Nemo first, and she's saying a woman has never been on board the Nautilus before, never served aboard the Nautilus before. She'll be the first. She says, "Oh, I'm honoured." So anyway, they're having this little chat. For some reason, they've got to put a mirror there so we can see Mel Ferrer's face. So anyway, so introductions. There they go to the quarters, and it's where we learn that there is some sort of relationship. There we go. But that's going to turn bad pretty soon. But anyway. Yes, and she knows that Dr. Cook's a baddie. Is working for Cunningham. And she seems to know that he's up to something. and she's playing along for some reason. But anyway. But I think he's just got to slow down, Nemo, for whatever reason. Meanwhile, they forgot to do the blue screen there, didn't they? Well, they've got to put something in. It's the sea, it'll do. Anyway, knee phones and knee pods too. Also launched knee tunes. I still use my knee pod. I could do with new knees. The good old days. I've never had an Apple product, ever. I'm thinking now. No, I haven't. Closest I've done, I've subscribed to Apple TV. That's the closest I've done to having an Apple product. Dear. Anyway, right, what they're doing. I think they're... yes. I think they did actually forget, didn't they? They did something. I want to go back and check this. Yes, suddenly the Nautilus veers off course and they can't do anything about it. My only Apple product is an iPod. I haven't even had one of those. Hang on, where are we? Pressed the wrong button. Had an iPhone once, terrible. Couldn't listen to all my MP3s. Suddenly they lose budget, yes. Yeah, I think they forgot to put something in there, didn't they? There's supposed to be something out that window. But anyway, the Nautilus is, let's say, veering off course, as we see there. But then they remembered for this shot. They put the sea in. But then they enter, it all goes dark for some reason that's not explained. But they need to come across something in a minute. Maybe an octopus has inked or something, I don't know. But... So here they come. But then they come out of it, look, it's just like a dark, like a cloudy, dark area. They come out and there's all loads of mines there. Because it's like Battlestar Galactica, isn't it? It's like the Straits of Madagon. I forgot what they call it now. Where they have to blow the mines apart with laser torpedoes. Matter of Star Trek Insurrection. Yeah, I was thinking of that. They just left the interior of the ship all blue and said, good enough. Yes, they did, didn't they? The collector or whatever it was, the inside of that, wasn't it? Just all blue. But would it have been blue screens or would they use green screens back then? I don't know. Quick, electrify the hull. Sorry, Nemo. Wrong one of your movies. Yes, they don't electrify the hull. I don't think they do anyway. They uses electric force field. Anyway, so this full stop now and all that. So they come to a halt. But one of the mines, oh look, there's all stuff going on. They need a little thing, don't they? They eventually come to a halt, putting fires out. But one of the mines is attached to the. It's scraping against the. Oh no, they're not stopping. No, they're finding a way out, but they do get out. But one of the mines is scraping. It's fastened to the hull of the Nautilus, so they've got to go out and deal with that. But they're all happy for some reason. I think that's where they can hear it scraping on the side of the ship. So they've got to go out. Captain Nemo and Commander Franklin. There we go. And should get Malcolm out there, shouldn't they? Yes, polarise the hull plating and grapple them. So they're in a Romulan minefield now, so Malcolm Reed is out, and it's one of these is going to come out and go through his leg. I like that episode, Minefield, although, it does mess about with canon a bit, but never mind. But it's not Star Trek, it's Captain Nemo. So here's the mine, and they've got to... get rid of that. So they've got the laser guns again. Porter's taking orders over the radio, and all he's doing is just talking to different people on the radio. Maybe it must go. Everybody must be able to hear it wherever you are. So say helmsman, dead stop or slow ahead or stuff like that. He's saying that, and then he's saying to other people as well. Anyway, so Nemo says to Franklin, I'll rattle this chain here. You go under the fin and try and free it from there. And he don't even go under the fin because he just looks and then thinks, no, I'll help him there. Don't go under the fin. Never mind. Marketing for Romulus is picking up, is it? Another teaser and full trailer expected next month. Then they should make a snow can. Don't know. Don't get that. Anyway. Oh yes, as well. I think there's radiation in the water as well because they're near the Mindanao Trench or whatever. The radiation coming out, so there's radiation in the water as well for some reason. But anyway, he ends up using his laser on the chain. Well, just do that to start with. There he goes. Look, his phaser. He gets his phaser out. Oh, it's what I'm thinking. Yes, what I'm thinking. That's popped in my head. Snowman, where they were on the asteroid or comet or whatever it was, and they built a snowman and used his phase thing or whatever. I don't know. Did something to put eyes and that in, didn't they? And the captain saw it, didn't he? Anyway, there we go. So he's going to use his laser. There we go. So off that goes, and then it floats up and hits another one, and then blows up, and then the down wake or whatever, shock wave, blows them about a bit, but they're fine, right? They go back in. Right, they can get underway now, but boo, baddie, Mr. Dr. Cook is off doing his shenanigans. Oh, he's contacting Professor Cunningham on his pen radio. So he's telling him to do his naughty stuff. So, right. So anyway, they're heading to investigate the radiation bubbles. Is there such a thing as radiation bubbles? I don't know, because it's not a thing, is it? Radiation. It's it's radiation, isn't it? It's like heat or whatever. It's not a thing that makes bubbles. It's not air, is it? You get radiated air. Anyway, whatever. So they've got to go and seal all these canisters. So what he's going to do is going to go down in his bathysphere. They don't call it that. They call it something else. I can't remember what they call it. Like diving bell. But they don't call it that. They call it something else. Anyway. So, obviously, these two are going to go because they're joined at the hip for some reason. So off they go. No, I'm lying. It's not that what's going to happen. Kate's going to go with Captain Nemo because she's the expert, and he says he can't go because he uses a walking stick. She says, "Well, I'll go," and he's saying, "No, you can't go." And she says, "Well, I bloody am doing, so sod you." There you go. Look, yeah. What do you mean I'm not going? You don't owe me. So she's gonna go with him. In the diving bell or whatever to try and seal up these canisters. But he's been ordered by Cunningham, to kill Nemo. So he's going to do that. So luckily everything's labelled. It's like the Batcave with big, letters so we can read it on a 1970s TV screen. A showerosphere, yes, not a bathysphere, a showerosphere, a bideosphere. My brother, his flat, he used to live in, had a bidet, and I always wanted to use it, but I never did. I don't know if he ever used it either. But anyway, where were we? So anyway, Tex, we see that he's got a sword in his walking stick, and he's going to short circuit all these things. Hang on. Like that, look. The oxygen and the radio, but nothing else. It doesn't do the winch. We saw that there we go. the thing for the winch is there. If he wants to kill him, why don't you short circuit the winch? But he doesn't. Anyway, just the oxygen and the radio. Anyway, so they're going down. There they are, looking at the radiation bubbles. And then she goes, oh my God, I'm all lightheaded. And he says, oh, you need more oxygen, my dear. So he goes and checks, and we see the oxygen's going down, oxygen pressure. So anyway, so they just sit there, not doing anything. But time has passed, and they've not been on the radio. And Commander Franklin says, we should have heard something by now, so he tries getting through. Obviously, they can't get through, because the bad guy, Mel Ferrer, has blown up the radio. So that he says, pull them back up now. So luckily he didn't do the winch, which was just there. He could have, but he didn't. So pulling them back up. And of course they're going to be fine. So then we have a sword fight with Captain Nemo and Robert Cook, Dr. Cook, because he's worked out that he's the bad guy. He says, my crew is loyal, and Kate was with me. That leaves only you. So they have a fight. He gets his sword out, and here we go. And he just grabs. There we go. He pulls this red pipe from whatever that is. Maybe the winch. So maybe the winch won't work anymore now because he's pulled this red pipe off with sparks and things. So I said they're going to have a fight. It's actually the stunt doubles that are going to have a fight, which they try to hide, but not really. There we go. Film it through grating so you can't see that they look nothing like Mel Ferrer. That's not Mel Ferrer. It looks like bloody Mike. Speaking of Halloween, it looks like Michael Myers, doesn't it? But I don't know. Or is it Gene Roddenberry? I don't know. It's just some bloke that looks nothing like Mel Ferrer. Anyway, so they're fighting away, and we think Mel Ferrer's getting the upper hand, but obviously he hasn't noticed this thing behind it that says high voltage. I saw it earlier on. So that's Chekhov's high voltage thing. You captured their stunt doubles with his glove. Dear. Snyder taking notes for Rebel sub mid-2025. It'll be a busy time, innit? Middle of next year. Anyway, so as they get there, they go the fighting away, and then he pushes him into the high voltage thing, and that blows up. So Robert Cook's dead. She doesn't seem very bothered, probably because they were going to kill her. He didn't want. That's why I didn't want her to go in the bathysphere. But she went anyway, so they were going to kill her. So she's not too cut up that her lover's dead. Meanwhile, Eagle 5 is just hovering there, and Thor's going to come over and say something, must be destroyed, or whatever. There we go. Right, so anyway, they're back and everything's lovely, and the Raven, yes, this is the bit where they have the many Nautiluses. I've just remembered what happens. So there he is on the screen. I must destroy you, and all that is overacting, etc. Ah, you were getting me angry, Captain Nemo. So anyway, so he's going to destroy him. So it's where he's saying, it's just going round in circles in the Nautilus. It says he will see many Nautiluses, but he doesn't, he only sees one at a time. But never mind. So here we go. In a minute. That's where he's describing it. Lots of long-winded explanations. And I don't know what this is supposed to show, just loads of lights. I'm sure we've seen that in Battlestar Galactica, but it came out the same year, so maybe they use the same equipment, I don't know. Wow, that's one of the fake Nautiluses, and then we're going to see another dot appear, which is the Raven chasing him, but it didn't show it, never mind. It skipped over it. Right, here comes the Raven. It's going to get the Nautilus, but that's not going to be the Nautilus. Because we're going to see, there we go, see it appear. But they don't say anything. It's obviously not the real Nautilus. I mean, it's all glowy and weird. But still going to shoot the bugger. So he said, fire delta beam. So off he goes. It's thinking, I'm having a busy day, me. Whee! Of course, he does it with gusto. You ready? There we go. So the delta beam gets fired. Obviously, it doesn't destroy the Nautilus because it just disappears. But the delta beam, they're doing it in a way that every time he fires the delta beam, he's hitting the area of the Mindanao Trench. But the aliens destroyed, he says. But, as we see, oh, for Pete's sake, another one appears. Is it going to show it? There we go. Another one appears. So I think, oh, okay, fire it again then. So they fire at it again. With similar results. And then I think they do it another time, one more time. Or was that it? No, it might have been. I think they did it 3 times in all. But the last time, it causes all this rock and stuff to fall into the Mindanao Trench, covering up the waste barrels and saving the world. Except we just have loads of irradiated rock at the bottom of the Pacific Ocean. So anyway, it was common to reuse things. They used BSG props in many shows, including V, Knight Rider and Buck Rogers. I did mention on... what was it we watched recently that I said I'm sure I've seen that in Buck Rogers. What was it now? Can't remember. But Battle Beyond the Stars did not reuse anything. But Roger Corman did. Right, so off they go. I can't remember what happens next. Yes, they're going to Atlantis. It's the set course for Atlantis. They're bombing off across the Atlantic. They've gone I don't know if they've gone round the Cape Horn, or if they've gone the other way around, Africa, the Cape of Good Hope. But it's heading basically for where Atlantis might have been, in the Straits of Gibraltar, that area. Ish, or between the Canary Islands, in that area, the eastern Atlantic Ocean. So anyway, there must be a passage of time. But the Nautilus is really quick. It can go 120 knots, apparently. Anyway, they reuse sound effects. They reused lots of things, didn't they? Even TNG reused Planet of the Apes props. It's just showbiz, baby. Yes, they're always reusing stuff. Companies hire out things, don't they? Like blinking light units and stuff and all that stuff. There's companies that hire out that stuff, don't there? So that's why you see them a lot. Anyway, where were we? So they've arrived. Anyway, they're at Atlantis. They're going through this channel. In a minute, they're ready. Here they come. Forgot the blues. Oh, no, they aren't. There it is. So they've arrived at Atlantis, finally. So we're in the 3rd act now. So the first episode were obviously threat to Washington, wasn't it? Second episode were the nuclear canisters. Third episode, excuse me, is Atlantis. And I'd like to see actually each, the full 3-hour version of it, but I can't find it. Unless it's on, YouTube or some other streaming service, I don't know. I'd like to see the full thing. Anyway, I will have to explore. Right, where were we? Right, they've arrived at Atlantis. There it is. And then it says, behold, Atlantis. But then, as they approacheth, the Nautilus is enveloped by some sort of force field from below. There it is, look. I'm going to show it from outside. There we go. And they say, we are being boarded. A force is board. Oh, I can't speak. Went on Max Headroom then, didn't I? Board. A force is boarding the ship. It turns out it's just one man, but anyway. So they go down to the moon pool. And this is where we meet Horst Buchholz. Here he comes out of the water when he's ready. Here he is. This is Tibor, the king of Atlantis. So he gets out, has a look round. So, do you speak English? Or do you understand our language? And he doesn't answer him. And he goes over and he's just about to touch that. And Nemo goes, don't touch that, it's dangerous. And so he doesn't touch it. And I thought, and he said, oh, you do understand us. I thought, well, maybe it was just the tone of his voice, but never mind. But he does understand anyway. So it's where he introduces himself. I am Tibor, king of Atlantis. He says, I am Captain Nemo, I come in peace, etc. He says, oh, we don't trust you because the last one said he came in peace and he kidnapped my people. That we never learned what happened to him, but never mind. And we don't trust you. But he says, oh, no, you can trust me because I'm Captain Nemo. So look, I'll show you the bridge and everything. So off he goes. And then he says, I will guide you to Atlantis. But there's a route that only I know. So you will be our navigator then. And they just go forward a bit. And then they're there. So he says, ahead slow. And they go ahead slow for about a minute and a half. And they're there. But anyway. Is Moon Pool a mashup between Deadpool and Moon Knight? Yes, it is. Moon Pool, like in Just Add Water. I have no idea what that reference is. Anyway, so they go forward a little bit and then they're there. So, this treacherous passage or whatever that to go through to get to Atlantis didn't really happen. It just went forward a bit and he says, we're there. So they go down to it goes down to the surface and you can see it's landing on like this circular thing. So the city of Atlantis is underground. This is the old city that's under the sea, and the people live in the new Atlantis beneath the surface. It's an Aussie mermaid show. Oh, right, okay. Not seen it. I don't think I've seen any mermaid show. My son tried to get me to watch Sirens. Is it Sirens or Siren? That show about mermaids. It's on Disney Plus over here, and I couldn't get into it. He loves it. I couldn't get into it. Anyway, I can't see any reason why you will watch it. Pretty much. There's another one. There's films in the Aquamarine. Aiden's got them as well. He must be into mermaids. I don't know. I was just a mermaid perv. I don't know, but he's got them. Not seen them either. Siren is quite good. I couldn't get into it. I didn't hate it, but I just stopped watching. Anywho, right. So the Nautilus lands, and so they're gonna go to Atlantis. King Tibor and Nemo. This is a chap that's making sure that the seal that it's all been evacuated. There's no water down there now, so he's saying everything's hunky dory. So down they go, and he's saying it could be a trap and all that, but luckily they've got a big spanner there. We call them spanners, you call them wrenches over there, but doesn't get used. It's not Chekhov's spanner. It's just there. I don't think it gets used. Not that I noticed. Anyway, so off he's going with King Tibor. And then for some reason, they must have set a camera up. I don't know. But and as they're heading towards these big doors, the camera image goes, skew Wi-Fi. There we go. Is that losing the image? Don't know. Yes, Sila's big wrench. Yes. Oh dear. So they can't watch him now, but he was going through some doors. So I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, so they go through these doors. There's nobody about, but they're coming in a minute. So he calls to his people. And out they come. This is the I forgot what he calls it now. The leaders of Atlantis, the great council, something like that. And they all start talking at the same time. Oh, a couple of times. These two here, for some reason, they talk at the same time. And I think, is that a mistake? And they just left it in. I don't know. But anyway. Right, so he goes and sits on his throne. And it's where we learn that they don't trust him. These two are wearing... And I don't see any of the others wearing these. There's a reason why these are wearing these that we learn in a bit. But anyway. Because they're both talking at the same time, and I'm sure that was a mistake. They just left it in. But meanwhile, they're talking about the other one came, obviously Cunningham in the Raven, and kidnapped their people. And they're on about that. So we don't trust you either. And the outsiders must be killed and all that. And this fella's called Trog. Don't look like Trog, does he? Ain't got a horn on his head. Never mind. Or reuse 2001 makeup effects from the film Trog, which is cool. But anyway, he's saying, we don't trust you. Etc. And Nemo has a weird way of gaining their trust, as we'll see in a minute. There we go. He gets his laser gun out and shoots this pillar. There we go. And destroys it. That's how he gets their trust. He says, I could have killed you, but I didn't. So now you can trust me. It works, but not really. So it says, I will help you. I am at your service, blah, blah, blah. So he says, okay, I'll go with you. And they said, no, don't go, King Tibor. Or let us go with you. And Nemo says, yes, let them, they'll come with you. You're as safe with them as without them. So them three are going back to the Nautilus. Is that N for Nemo or Nautilus on his cap? I've just noticed that. Anyway. So off they go. I presume they're going to go and find Cunningham, I suppose, the Raven. I don't know, but they're heading to the Nautilus. So they've arrived back, and they get to the bridge, and everybody's frozen. Like that. Nobody's ever just frozen like that. As though they were just staring into space. Everyone's always doing something, aren't they? Anyway, so it's like, he says, what's happening? And Captain Nemo says, I don't know. And now we're watching it, we're saying, you do know. It's happened to you earlier on. You were frozen. You know what's going on. Obviously, Cunningham's been on board somehow and frozen them with his freeze ray. But anyway, meanwhile, hidden behind this scratch on the film, them two bugger off. Or the sneak off somewhere. So he's busy looking at those. They're going to sneak off yet. See that? That was bad. Look at that. Ooh, terrible. Anyway. So he don't know what's going on. And then he says, where have your friends gone? And so, they were there a minute ago. I said, well, yeah, but they're not now, are they? I hate it when they do that in films. There's a, where's Thingy gone? It was there a minute ago. I said, yeah, but he's not there now, is he? People move about. Anyway, so there we go. Ooh, so they've got to go and find them. And they can't control the ship, but then all the lights go out, and then they come back on. It says, power's back, and then the ship starts moving by itself. So he's got to try and stop it. So I wonder if he's got Professor Cook's walking stick. He could make it all blow up or something. I don't know. But anyway, it all blows. He has a good plan. He says, this will get me control of the ship back, but it all blows up in his face, and then they're getting knocked out. And then these two arrive, and we learn that they're baddies, and they're being controlled by Cunningham. And it's the things that they've got on their heads that's doing it. But anyway, so they've got to take them to the Raven. So don't tell us how they got there, but they did. And they're not wet, so they must have docked with the Raven or something. I don't know. Oh no, I think it says take him to the ship, or the bathysphere or whatever. He's got a little ship that he can go from submarine to submarine in, but we don't see it. It's not the bathysphere, it's something else, but we never see it. Anyway. Oh, and then we learn he's got Franklin, look. Franklin's got one of these things on his head and it's controlling him, and so he's under Cunningham's power as well. They're taking King T-Bar away, putting him in jail. Right, so he's going to torture Nemo now. Going to stick a thing on his head because he wants his secrets, because it can read his thoughts. Much like what happened with a bit Dr. Zarkov in Flash Gordon, which actually made after this, wasn't it? So maybe they ripped this off. So anyway, he wants the formula for his laser. And the formula for his laser is surprisingly simple. He says, no, I won't tell you anything. He says, oh, yes, you will, because this will get it out of your brain. I don't know what that is. I can't remember. So he's saying, no, I won't tell you anything. But then he's giving it now because using the voltage selector thing, whatever. I don't know. What else does it do? Counterclock. That's a Star Trek episode, isn't it? Counterclock incident. In the animated series, I think. Anyway, whatever. So he puts that up. There we go. That's the formula for his laser. AX2 plus E equals G7, 4T minus Y equals D. So write all that down. You make yourself a laser. So he's giving that away, but oh, look at that, woo, overacting. Looks a bit like John Pertwee there, doesn't he? And he also wants the formula or the secrets of his nuclear power. But he's already got a nuclear power plant as Cunningham, because he mentions it, his nuclear power plant. That's why he needed to refuel from the canisters and that. He needed the radiation from that to refuel his nuclear power plant. His must be better. Nemo's must be better, even though it's 100 years old. But anyway, they say, no, I won't do it. But Nemo says to Franklin, remember who you are. Remember who you work for, Mr. Miller. And then, there you go. He can overpower. He can send his memories onto the screen of Miller, reminding him, Franklin, who he is, who he works for. He works for the president and protecting the United States of America and all that stuff, which obviously does the trick. Look, it's working, look. And he takes off his brand. You're a good guy, and all that stuff. And he takes off the, hang on, just a minute. Takes off the headband, and here we go. And so it has a little fight, and gets this gun, and starts freezing everybody. Not shooting them, just freezing them. Did you step away? Sci-fi quest. So he starts freezing them. And it also works on the androids, look. So the androids can be frozen as well. So I don't know how it works. But anyway. Does it freeze time? Does it put them in a time bubble? I don't know. But it's freezing them all. So as he freezes them, he frees. See what I did there? Captain Nemo. Obviously, they couldn't afford the rest of the set. It's just black screen, black velvet, or whatever. Couldn't afford it, could they? Couldn't afford a set. So they've got to get away and free King T-Bar. So off they go. Don't mention the other Atlanteans that were supposed to have been kidnapped. Don't mention them. Maybe they've been killed. I don't know. Oh, aye. And he says, put the thing back on, the headband back on, but take the transistor off, and so it won't work anymore. But other people on the ship will think that he's still under control. So he does that. They're all frozen. So off they go to the jail cell. And Franklin's going to pretend, here he is, that he's still under. So he says, Cunningham wants you. Off you go. So they head down the corridor, and he freezes them. And so the free T-bar. So he remembers he saw that fella earlier on feeling about. Why did they have a button on the outside? But no, it's feeling about. There must be some little catch. It's not bloody Sherlock Holmes in some, the Hound of the Baskervilles or something with a secret passage, a Scooby-Doo or something. I don't know. Anyway, they get him out. There we go. And they get him out. And they unfreeze them. No, they take off the transistors off the headbands that are controlling them. And then he unfreezes them. So they're goodies again now. So they've got to go and deal with Cunningham. But Tor has other ideas. You will be destroyed. But then he does a force field for some reason. As we'll see. There we go. We'll never get through that force field, says Captain Nemo. So they've got to do something else. They've got to head back to the Nautilus, I think. So they go back to Atlantis. He says, go back to Atlantis and we'll deal with Professor Cunningham. But he says, no, I'm going with you. So they send them back by themselves. Right, so Tor comes to the beach and unfreezes everybody. So they're going to destroy the Nautilus now. But we're still going to have some laser stuff going on in a minute. There we go. So, pew, 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 pews. Did you see it fella inside that then? Sure we did. His mouth. You can see Tor's mouth as well. But, who cares? So, obviously they must have different settings, these guns that they've got. There must be a freeze setting and a laser setting. Must have. Although it doesn't tell us that. Oh, they do have a stun setting as well. Because he says, on the way back... Because they get chased on the way back to the Nautilus. This is where he says, use a stun setting. We're not murderers. Unless, it's androids. Look, the murder androids. How do they know that they're androids? There could be people in there, for all they know. Like in the black hole. The crew of the Cygnus. Anyway, they escape, and they escape to another room that has no features. A featureless void. Definitely running out of money. Oh, and they come in here, and it says, "Oh, well, we can escape wearing these scuba diving gear." And then it's all like there's a passage of time. See, look, they're going to get passage of time. It dissolve. That's like 20 minutes later. Thankfully, nobody came across them. So off they go. So they're going to have another laser gunfight under the sea. There you go. Pew, pew, pew. That's where he says, this is where he says, we're not murderers, use the stun setting. So they do that. So they do that, leave them stunned at the bottom of the sea, probably just to run out of oxygen and die anyway. Anyway, but they get back to the Nautilus, obviously. After a bit more action and a bit more thunderball action and stuff. But there we go. Oh, look. Bubbles. She just come round, or they unfroze her? I can't bloody remember. Let's go back a bit. Oh, no, they come out. They unfreeze them. Oh, good job he set it to the unfreeze setting. So they must have a freeze setting and an unfreeze setting and a laser kill setting and a laser stun setting. I hope it's easily marked on the gun. But anyway. So they unfreeze everybody. And set about dealing with Professor Cunningham. So, right. So they're going to start a bit of submarine warfare now, shooting at each other. There we go. There we go. And I think they deal with him quite quickly. Look, shoot that. They shoot him there, rock the raven about, and here it comes around for another shot. Bit of Star Trek going on. They're throwing themselves about the bridge. Don't know what she's checking a watch for. Must be Tiffy time. It's Tiffy time. Anyway, so he gets his laser out and shoots, and I think this is where he actually destroys the raven. Just gets it. There, yes, he does. One shot, bang, the raven is destroyed. Professor Cunningham must be dead. I presume so. The downwash, makes them all sparks appear, and look, there's all steam going. There'll be lots of. Yes, it must be laser o'clock. But anyway, everything's okay. Oh, and he goes down to the engine room, says, turn down the power. We're done. We've used the laser. Everything's hunky-dory. And King T-Bar's there saying, you've saved Atlantis. Whatever. I'm going back now. So he says, okay. See ya. So they're heading back now for other adventures. Oh, they're having one last look at Atlantis. This is how it ends. I want to have one last look at Atlantis, so they do. So they all, there we go, with the shot of the crew, and there we go. That's the end. There you go. That's how it ends. And it was supposed to carry on. It won an Emmy, I think. I can't remember what for. Received two Emmy Award nominations for outstanding individual achievement in any area of creative technical crafts. In any area. And these were for Frank Van der Veer's optical effects and L.B. Abbott, that fella, special photographic effects. So that's what he got 2 Emmy nominations, but obviously it mustn't have won. Anyway, so there we go. So that's the end of The Amazing Captain Nemo, which I saw at the cinema. So there we go. And as I said, I wouldn't mind seeing the full episodes, the full 3 hour, well, near enough, experience. Anyway, but I don't know where to find it. Unless it can't be on DVD, because I looked for it on DVD and I got that, which is just this, the movie version. But anyway, and that's it. No, they're in an end credits where we see Cunningham in a bathysphere or some escape pod saying, "I'll be back, Captain Nemo." They should have done, shouldn't they? But they don't. So there we go. So that's the end of that. So yeah. So there. Anyway, right. It's a lot of fun. It's crap, but fun crap. Did the original episodes actually air? Yes, it says they did. Let's have a look. It was originally shown in the United States as a 3-part miniseries, 60 minutes each episode, on CBS. That'll be including ads, I suppose. On CBS from March 8th to 22nd, 1978, and portions of the 3-episode series were then re-edited into a 102-minute version released theatrically overseas as The Amazing Captain Nemo, which I went to see when I was a kid. You can tell the re-edit, the edit, in some parts it's quite jarring, the edits, as though you think lots has been cut out here. But anyway, I'd like to see it. I don't know where we'll be able to see it. I don't know. It was called The Return of Captain Nemo. So I'll have to have a look about. I'll have to look on Amazon or whatever, on Prime or something like that, and see if it's on there. Will it be on Tubi? I don't know. But we don't get Tubi over here. Or was it cut up? before it was shown. Okay. I wasn't sure if it was cut down before they broadcast them. No, that's how it aired in the US. Anyway, right, so that's it. That's it. I like that. It's rubbish, but it's fun rubbish. Similar to like Buck Rogers and that sort of stuff. Battlestar Galactica, it's in a similar vein, innit? How TV shows should be made. They don't need to be little films, do they? They don't need to be like $8 million per episode and more mini movies. They just want a bit of entertainment with a bit of pew-pews and some rubbish effects, and we're happy. Well, I am. Oh, dear. Haha, I'm looking at comments and everyone is looking for the show with underwater eagles. Pretty much what it was. Right, we'll leave it there. So, what's coming up next? We're on Monday. Wednesday's my news stream. If there is any news, I imagine there will be. And on Friday, for Friday Night Appointment with Fear this week, we're doing Dream Capture, the Stephen King, based on the Stephen King novel, directed by Lawrence Kasdan, with an all-star cast, who I can't be bothered reeling, but Thomas Jane et al. And Donnie Wahlberg I think, should be an award-winning performance, but I don't know if he did win an award. No double features. Well, can't be. There ain't another dream catcher, is there? Anyway, right. So we'll leave it there. I'm all done. I can go to bed now. I'm shattered. I didn't get much sleep last night, and then I were up early this morning, so I wanted to get the garden done, and that's done. And now I'm jiggered. So anyway. I found a place that discusses the differences, so they must exist. Right, yeah. I'll have to have a shufty around. Great stream as always, mate. Take it easy. See you soon. Yes. Right. So, thanks, Sci-Fi Quest, and thanks, Win Grace, and I think Josh Temple popped in, didn't he, as well. Busy at work, probably. And we also had somebody else, didn't we, who I saw, and I saw it, Gavin Blackburn, saying, nice giraffe statue. I never noticed the giraffe statue. I ain't got a giraffe statue. I ain't got anything that looks like a giraffe. No, I haven't. Anyway, thank you for keeping me company while we go through that film. So, right, we'll leave it there. Yes, and Laura popped in as well, didn't she? Yes, Laura was there as well. So thanks everybody for joining in the chat. You can continue in the comments if you want to. And don't forget, I've got a Patreon page. Links in the description. Gavin Blackburn's still here. Good stream. Got a Patreon page. Links in the description. I'm going to do an in magical monochrome in colour sometime. One day this week I'm going to do it, because I'm going to watch the original 1959 version of House on Haunted Hill with Vincent Price in colour. So we're going to do that. That's on the Patreon. No council tonight. No, Joshua Kanapke must be busy. What else? I shop. I've got a shop, a store, whatever you want to call it. There's merch in it. We can see designs and stuff. Magical Technicolor or Technocolor. That sounds better, doesn't it? Technocolor. But yep. So that's coming up anyway on the Patreon page. As I said, there's a merch shopping at t-shirts and mugs and bags and whatever they sell on Spreadshirt and all that stuff. And I keep forgetting to wear them. Just keep wearing my Iron Maiden t-shirts and I keep forgetting to wear my own merch. Apart from my cap. But this isn't available. This is a one-off with a patch like that I just sewed on a cap. But it does say that old Yorkshire geek on the back of it. So there you go. Spectacular polychrome. No, it's going to be in magical monochrome. In colour. I'm going to spell it the American way as well. We know you. Anyway, right, whatever. Right, so we'll leave it there. So, thanks for watching. And wherever you are, look after each other. And until next time, I'll say that. And I'm sure I forgot something, but I'll say that anyway.